What is up, guys? Russell back here with IDKO2. Sorry for a little bit of an absence. That is a really long story. I will probably be posting a video explaining exactly what happened. It is quite a tale, so get ready. But today, for this video, actually, I am going through something that I did last year, and it was actually quite popular, so I'm going to return the little series, and this is sort of a Christmas tech gift guide. I am currently building a Google Docs document that I will post the link in the description. I'm going to have, right now I just finished the keyboards under 100 section, and I'm going to have a few more sections sort of keep going in different pages and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. I will continually update this if, you know, good deals come about or something like that, so I'll give you guys all the link in the description so you can check that periodically and see what I can come up with. I'm going to start with a couple of honorable mentions. Again, this is mechanical keyboards, mainly mechanical keyboards under $100. So I wanted to try and keep that budget. This is Canadian dollars. So you Americans, you guys are going to have a little bit of a break because the dollar is a lot cheaper for you guys. So a couple of the honorable mentions I want to start off with is the Razer BlackWidow Ultimate 2016 edition. I love this keyboard. I have the Chroma version, but I did use the Ultimate before I broke it, and you guys can check that in the video up in the icon up in the top right. I'll link that. I have no doubt that this keyboard is going to go on sale for under $100. Location to be determined. You can check NCIX, newegg.ca, Amazon, or even Canada Computers if you are in Canada. So I have no doubt that these are going to go on sale for under $100. When I bought mine, it was $106, and that was 2 years ago. So keep your eye out for this guy. I have no doubt it's going to drop below 100, but right now it's not under 100. But I had to mention it because I have a feeling that it's gonna drop. Another honorable mention is the Razer Ornata. This is the new one. It's actually a mechanical keyboard. It's got sort of not unique switches, but fairly different switches. It's still a low profile switch, so actuation is fairly short, but it is a membrane keyboard, so there's gonna be a little bit of a tactile feel. I was playing with them a little bit in some of the computer stores, and they actually do feel remarkably good for membrane key switches. So if you're looking for sort of a more low profile typing sort of experience, not really an office setting because they are kind of clicky, but if you like that sort of feel, then check this guy out. Again, I am confident that you're gonna find this guy for under 100 bucks over the holidays. So give this guy a bit of a look. It does come with an included wrist rest, which seems like it would make the typing experience a lot more comfortable. So again, check this guy out. Keep an eye on him because I think that he's going to be a winner. All right, to start us off, number one. I promise I'm not a huge Razer, actually, who am I kidding? I'm a huge Razer fan. They do fantastic stuff. My brother has this keyboard, but in the Chroma version, the Razer BlackWidow Tournament Edition. I helped him pick it out after I chose my second Razer keyboard. So huge fan of these guys. They do have the green clicky switch and the orange stealth switches to choose from. This is a plain white backlit keyboard. You can also find an RGB edition, but they are more expensive. So again, this guy retails for under 100. It's $89.99 from Amazon.ca. Ships in 2 days if you have Prime. So if you are considering buying this for a gift, then it will get there in time for Christmas. It's got some fantastic function. You can lock the Windows key with the game. You can see the green icon sort of up on the F10 key, and then the red icon and the F9 keys for recording macros, and all that sort of stuff. So really cool keyboard, nice and small to transport here and there, you know, back and forth and all that kind of stuff. So fantastic keyboard, highly recommend. The second one is actually one that I have recently picked up. It is the ASIO MGK1 or the MGK1-K. The only difference is that the the MGK1-K is the brown brown Kale switches, whereas the MGK1 is the blue switches, I believe. So this is the MGK1-K. You can tell because on the side here, there's no red panel, whereas if we look at this guy, there's a red panel on the side. So you can compare there. So this is the MGK1 with the blue switches, and this is the MGK2 with the brown switches. One of the things I really like about this keyboard are those dedicated media keys in the top right. The gripped sort of looking wheel is for volume up and down, and the mute key sort of right beside it. I actually ended up picking up the MGK1K for my office use at work. It's a super fantastic typing experience. I can't even tell that they aren't genuine Cherry switches. They do have the Cherry stem on them, so if you wanted to get custom caps, you can do that absolutely. This is a very, very bare bones, basic keyboard. I absolutely love it. It's super sleek, it's super sturdy. It comes with a wrist rest that does make everything a little bit easier to type on, and it's just overall fantastic. It has dedicated media keys, it has dedicated shortcut keys even, which is something I haven't seen in a long time, so you can map those F1 to F4 keys to programs like internet, mail, calculator, and music, it looks like, and then you have the dedicated media keys and all that kind of stuff. You can set the light to several levels of brightness. I can't remember what it is. And then you can select between 8 key rollover and N key rollover to change the sort of the polling rates of your keyboard, depending on what kind of games you're playing or if you're typing or not, and all that kind of stuff. So fantastic keyboard. Personally, I love it. I'm probably going to do some sort of brief overview and or review of this keyboard very shortly, because I think it is a fantastic find for under $100. I actually ended up picking up the brown switch one, which right now is $89.99 on Newegg, and then I went into a Canada Computers and price matched that, purely because Canada Computers was closer to my house than CIX's. But yeah, so keep an eye out for this guy. Fantastic keyboard, really, really love it. It's going to go up on the channel soon for a review, so stay tuned. Number 3 on our list is a Cooler Master. It's a Cooler Master Storm Quickfire Rapid. It's a 10 keyless. So this is for the person who doesn't do a lot of data entry, a lot of number work, or anything like that. Other than that, it's a super, super simple keyboard. It does have the arrow keys for games that require that. Again, this keyboard is sort of more geared to gaming than a typing experience. This one is Cherry MX Red switches, so for those of you who are Cherry fans, then you're going to find these here. You also have dedicated media keys and volume keys up the top, as long as you sort of pair them with the function key, and 2 Windows keys. You can see one at the bottom left between the Control and Alt, and one sort of over to the right of the spacebar between Alt and function. So that's interesting. So you do have the option to lock that Windows key out with the F9, which is an awesome feature. I really, really like it. Super simple keyboard, fantastic typing experience, great gaming keyboard overall. Nice low profile, can't go wrong with that. Alright, number 4 is a little bit different than the last one. This is again a Cooler Master. This is a Storm Quickfire TK edition. This one does come with the number pad. This may be something that I would be more geared to if I'm going for sort of a lower profile mechanical keyboard. Only reason is because I tend to do a lot of data entry when it comes to schoolwork or office or whatever it is. So I love having that number pad. But what happens is you can sort of switch off, I believe, sort of what functions that 10 key area has, whether it's a number pad or the numbers. So you can switch it to the arrow key and that insert home, page up, page down, delete end sort of set of keys, or you could switch it to the number pad, depending on whether or not you're gaming, essentially. So very cool, very similar to the last one. Again, it's got a few different brightness levels, backlit with a red LED, dedicated media keys and volume keys with the Windows lock. So again, very, very simple. This one is just an alternative to sort of give you that 10 key access versus without it with just the arrow keys. So totally up to you on this one. They are going to be relatively or pretty much the same size, but it just depends on what sort of functionality you want out of your keyboard. Again, this one retails for $189 on Amazon.ca. This is just a quick search. I have no doubt that you're going to be able to find this for 89 or 90 cents cheaper to bring it under $100. Again, watch this guy. It's probably going to go on some serious sale over the holidays. Number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, number 5, we have the Logitech G7 10 Plus mechanical gaming keyboard. This one is feature packed for under $100. Retails for $99.95 on Amazon, again with Prime 2-day shipping. So if it's a gift, go nuts. And this one I love because it's got extended functionality. It's probably the highest function keyboard of all the ones that I've sort of showcased so far. Reason being, on the left hand side you're going to get 6 dedicated macro keys that you can sort of pre-program with functions that you set in the Logitech software. You can have it call up certain programs. You can have it do certain shortcuts, you know, like copy, paste, back, forward, whatever it is, and all that kind of stuff. Open up a certain file directory or whatever it is. On the top, sort of towards the left, above the function keys, you're going to see M1, M2, M3, and then MR. What that is that allows you to record 3 separate macros to run during games, during programs, during whatever it is. So you have that sort of additional functionality. I believe you might be able to sort of assign macros to those 6 dedicated macro or function keys as well. I could be wrong. So double check that. The WASD keys are a little bit different. I think they're raised or textured or something a little bit different because this is sort of an FPS gaming keyboard, sort of above all else. I'm quite confident that they would sort of include a separate set of keys as well that would match the rest of the keyboard for those of you who are playing other games like MOBAs or RPGs or something like that that don't necessarily use the WASD keys all that extensively. Moving on over to the right, at the top, we do have dedicated media keys for play, pause, stop, back, and forward, which is awesome. And just to the left of that, you have a lighting options key, so it will light up just the WASD keys or the whole keyboard with the WASD keys or whatever it is. You can change the lighting options there, is the point. All the way to the right, we're going to have that 10 key area as well, in addition to the mute and volume up and down scroll wheel. I think the mute and volume up and down scroll wheel is an amazing feature on keyboards. I absolutely love it. Now that I have one on the ASIO keyboard at work, I sort of wish that my Razer one at home had one. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. And we're coming to the end of the list. This one is a Corsair keyboard, actually. This is another compact keyboard. Compact keyboards are generally less expensive than full keyboards, so that's probably why a lot of the ones that I'm featuring today are compact keyboards. But I think that's awesome because if you are planning on being, mobile to any extent, if you're a student moving back and back to home and back to school and back and forth and this and that, or you're going to a LAN party or something like that, and I think these are fantastic options and you really want to consider these guys. So a couple of functions. Again, this one's got the dedicated volume and mute keys up at the top. You can see that there's a Windows lock key, and everything else is pretty much bare bones. It's very, very standard. It's a great all-around keyboard. The spacebar is textured. The WASD keys are, I think, textured or raised or something like that, and they probably have extras in there as well. A couple of other things that this keyboard has that the other ones don't, though, is this. Now this is a BIOS switch. Now this is not a fantastic picture, but it actually has a bunch of numbers on the top of it, 1, 2, 4, and 8, and those are actually polling times. So 1 millisecond, 2 milliseconds, 4 milliseconds, 8 milliseconds. 1 millisecond is 1000 hertz, and 2 milliseconds is 500 hertz, and so on and so forth. What you can use that switch for is to change the polling rate of your keyboard to enable compatibility with certain motherboard BIOSes and KVM switches. That just makes sure that you, if necessary, are able to enter the BIOS should you want to overclock or anything else go wrong. For the most part, I don't think that you would need to sort of switch it off of one now that motherboards are pretty standard. But you never know. There may be that one exception that you run into because you're just that unlucky. I know I am. So it's a good feature to have just in case. Another thing is that the keyboard cord is actually removable. I think this is fantastic because you can take the cord out and then wind it up and then sort of pack your keyboard somewhere else without risking damage to the cord. So it's a nice braided cable, and it'll unplug and plug in no problem. The way it's actually built, where it comes in straight and then a slow 90 and then straight into the socket there, is perfect. I think that's an amazing design. It'll reduce cable fatigue and just lowers the risk of damage to your keyboard dramatically. So fantastic. Good on you, Corsair. That is fantastic. So again, the Corsair K65 mechanical keyboard. This one is a red switch, I believe. Yeah, Cherry MX red switches. So smooth and linear. That's what we're going for. All right, and the last one is a little bit unconventional. A lot of you may not have heard of these people, but I have, and I took a chance on them, and it actually ended up really, really well. Here's what I'm talking about. The Mechanical Eagle Z77 87 key mechanical gaming keyboard with blue switches. Now these are not Cherry MX Blue switches. They are just switches that mimic the feeling of Cherry MX Blues. So they're going to have a little bit of a different actuation force than the reds, a little bit heavier, I believe, closer to 50 grams as opposed to 45. It's not going to be a linear actuation, but it's going to be sort of like a little bit of a mountainous type thing. But they are Cherry compatible keycaps. So if you have custom keycaps or you have another keyboard that you want to swap out the WSD keys on it, whatever it is, you can do that. And this keyboard is actually, well, it's this one, the one that I purchased was retail $49.99 from Amazon. I was super skeptical But I bought it, I used it for a couple of weeks as my daily driver. I sort of pushed my Razer aside, which was almost or exactly 4 times the price when I purchased it. And the feeling, yeah, it's sub-premium, but it is so much better than any membrane keyboard that you're ever going to get for 50 bucks. It's the cheapest keyboard on this list today. This one is not backlit, but you do have the option to purchase a backlit version for $10 more. And this one here, I don't think you can change the colors. The colors are just red on the first row, green in the third row, blue in the fourth row, purple, and then pink. Orange in the second row. Sorry, I missed that one. But all in all, the typing experience on this guy is phenomenal for a $50 keyboard or a $60 keyboard, or you can get a white one for $60. I think that's pretty cool if you have a white setup. That would look really, really awesome on your desk. You can probably turn the lights off and it would look super sleek. They do have a full version as well for $79.99 for those of you who are looking for a little bit more functionality out of your keyboard with that additional 10 keys. So again, I used it. I will probably have a review. I was supposed to have a review up like, I don't know, 6 months ago. But I promise it's coming, and it will be worth the purchase if you're looking to get into a mechanical keyboard at a really decent price range. This will just sort of introduce you to what mechanical keyboards can do, and then whether or not you want to sort of introduce yourself to a higher end one later down the line with more functionality. That is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna have this list linked in the description below for those of you who want to sort of look at it and find those links. Instead of putting all the links for all the different keyboards and all the peripherals and everything that I'm going to do, I'm just going to link this one document so you guys can go in and click links and follow up and then see if anything has changed. I will sort of mark if I've edited anything as I go on to help you guys out. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I've been gone for a while. I'm trying to get back into it, and if you guys really want to find out what happened, then tune in, because I will have a video explaining that in the next few days. And if you want to keep sort of, you know, looking into the whole Christmas gift tech stuff, I'm going to have a couple more videos coming out. You can already see I've started on the videos. There's mice under 50, or headsets under 50, headsets under 100. So all those 3 videos are going to be coming really soon. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this content, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to follow me, because I've got some more good content coming. And if you do that, then I will see you guys in the next video.